Yo, RX back with another recap of UFC 309 Jones versus Miocic. We back with another recap of a card that was okay, fine, underwhelming. There's a lot of words you could use to describe this card. None of them like ungodly bad. I wouldn't call the card awful because there was some good on it. Just a lot of that good was early on the card, and most of the good of the card was not on the main card, which is the selling point of the card. And yeah, the $80 pay-per-view sucked. One fight was good, the other four weren't. So, like, the prelims and the co-main were really fucking good. The four other fights, and maybe one prelim at most, were not that great. So, take that for what you will. Sorry about that. I am dead fucking tired after this card. I'm recording this a few hours after it ended. No, I don't want to be doing this right now. I do this shit for you. So, fucking enjoy it. Jokes aside, yeah, I was not overly thrilled with this card by the end of it. Prelims, really fucking good. I can't really complain about the prelims much. The main card was just bad. Bad. So, maybe a night of sleep will make me think differently about this card, but right now, a few hours after it, tired as shit. I'm not impressed. I thought it very underwhelming. So, maybe it's just me, but I did not really think this card was amazing. Okay, fine at best is how, like, 6 out of 10 being very, very generous. So, take that for what you will. But outside of that, not really much I'll say about the card. Again, prelims, really good. Main card, really bad. So, and tired levels, very high. But no, I'm getting the video out sometime on Sunday for you motherfuckers. So let's stop rambling and let's get into this fucking recap. Unless I'm going to say something, which I don't believe I am. Before I get into the recap, please like, comment, subscribe. 100 subs goal by the end of 2024. This is close to one of the last videos, last recaps of the year. Only 3 more after this, with 3 more breakdowns. So let's go out with some bangs and enjoy the shit. So I hope you enjoy this, and let's recap some fights. You ready? I know I am. I'm not forgetting to say anything I don't believe. So let's recap some fights. Before I do, we had 12 fights on the card. Yes, I know I broke down 13. Yes, we lost a fight on fight day. We lost Chris Weidman and Eric Anders. Who gives a fuck? Thank God, because Weidman was just gonna eye poke him and cuddle him for 15 minutes, so good fucking riddance. Weidman retire, Anders retire. Fuck them both. I don't care. So we only had 3 early prelims now, but they were pretty solid, and we had the same opening fight as we did before, as in our card opener. First fight of the night, whatever you'd like to call it, in the women's flyweight division. We began the night with Eduarda Moura versus Veronica Hardy. Decent fight to begin the night. Was it anything amazing? No, it was not a world-breaking fight, but it was fine. I don't think it's bad by any means. It was fine. For the first 10 minutes of the fight, Moura just dominated Hardy was the bigger fighter, more aggressive fighter. Just bullied her pretty much. Just like on the feet, she landed better shots. She got takedowns on the ground, dominated her. Just domination from Moura for the first 10 minutes. Then in round 3, it was definitely the best round for Hardy. Moura definitely slowed down a little bit. Hardy was starting to land some really good kicks. I think Hardy took the third. I think most people would score the third for Hardy. But, I know at least I did. Yeah. 9-6. Oh no, people... Huh. So they gave round 2 and 3 to Moura for sure. And it's a debatable round 3. Okay. Yeah, either way, I scored 29-28. I definitely think Hardy won a round. I think that was the third round. Apparently a judge gave her round 1. At least one of the judges. I really don't know. I really don't agree with that. I think she kind of got beat up there. I guess it was close, but I think Moura did a lot better work early in the fight. The first 10 minutes were all Moura, in my opinion. But I guess it was close. I guess you can make a case for 29-28 Hardy, 1-3, but I really think you're fucking pushing it. I think Eduarda won pretty soundly the first 10 minutes. I think people are kind of just overthinking this judging by either giving Hardy the first or debating round 3. I think it's a pretty clear 29-28. Like, Eduarda dominated the first 10 minutes and then Hardy looked good in the third. Sorry. Outside of that, there's really not much to say about this fight. It was kind of just Eduarda looking really fucking good in her flyweight debut, being the much bigger fighter, and landing very good shots. Again, on the feet, she landed really good shots. Hardy somehow never went down. On the ground, it was all Eduarda on the ground. The few times they went there. So, like, the only asset of the game that Hardy really won was kicks, and she didn't really start doing that really well till late, so you did good late, but it was too little too late, so it is what it is. Decent fight again tonight between two decent fighters, and a really good win for Eduarda Moura to be in the night, so yeah, not very much else to say about the fight. It was fine, pretty easy to score, and yeah, that's about it for that. To talk about the fighters now, we'll start with Eduarda, and right off the bat, she looked fucking great at flyweight. How she ever thought strawweight was her weight class, I don't know. She looked big, she looked healthy, she looked so much better at fucking flyweight. She's in her weight class now. Again, how she ever thought that fucking strawweight was her weight class, I don't know. She's too big. She can't find the right weight cut, and then she could. Why do that? You're fucking 5'6". You're still bigger than a lot of fucking flyweights. She fucking towered over Hardy. She's a fucking flyweight, and how she did not know that before, I don't know. It's pretty obvious. So, this healthy Moura looked fantastic. This is the Eduarda that I've been like thinking we would see at strawweight, but again, for some reason, she wanted to fight at strawweight. He should have been at flyweight the whole time because she looked great. Striking looked good. Ground game looked good. She slowed down in the third, but that's because she put a really good pace on in the first 10 minutes. And even then, she didn't get completely bulldozed in the third. She did okay. It was just the worst round of the fight for her, so I don't know. She looked great up a weight class, and I'm excited to see what she can do at flyweight. Like, she's bigger than a lot of the fighters. She's very well-rounded. I'm intrigued. So, great flyweight debut for Eduarda versus a very good Veronica Hardy. And there's not really much else I can say. flyweight just got another problem on their hands because Eduarda looks big and healthy and good at 125. I didn't talk about Veronica. It kind of sucks her little runs over, since it's hard not to cheer for Veronica. Seems like a good person. Dan's a cool guy, but she really just didn't have anything for Eduarda here. Like, I know she won the third, but that's just too little too late. And it's actually funny, I brought this up in my breakdown. I guess I didn't take my own notes, as in, like, in the Biamalecki fight, the same thing kind of happened. She really does not know how to fight the taller fighter very well. Like, yeah, she beat Jamie Lynn Horst, who's a decently tall fighter, but she's not really good at using her range and height like that. Like, she's more of a fucking aggressive fighter. Eduarda is going to fight at range, and she did. So, same thing with Biamalecki. So, it just seems like Hardy really doesn't know how to counter that. And that happened again here. Her fucking way of fighting taller fighters just really didn't work very well. So, she didn't, like, it sucks. Again, she didn't even look that bad. She just looked a little outclassed in the first 10 minutes. And she looked good in the third, so it sucks that her little run's over. Yeah, definitely, like, it's still a nice run. Like, definitely saved her career, and she's gonna get another fight, ideally. I don't know why she wouldn't. But, yeah, she's definitely, her insanity run got a little bit of a fucking stop to it, so hopefully she can bounce back, because again, it's kind of hard not to like Veronica, but for reasons. Not jokes aside, she is talented. She does have talent. Her striking's not bad. Her ground game definitely not great. Cardio's good. Fight IQ's okay. It's just the taller fighter. She couldn't really do a lot against that. So hopefully she can bounce back. And hopefully this doesn't turn into another fucking losing streak for her. So we'll see. Sucks to see her run over, but at least it was to a good fighter, and hopefully she can get better from this. She's still so young. She's the younger fighter here somehow, so take that for what you will. But yeah, let's hope she can live and learn, come back better. Only thing left to say now is, who should I fight next? For Eduarda, she dives head first into the Shark Tank at flyweight now, beating Veronica, who's on a 3-fight winning streak, pretty much 1 win away from her ranking. I think Eduarda definitely now jumps into that same area of the pool. She's, I'd say, 1 more good win, and she can easily get a ranking. Who would that fight be against? She obviously not going to fight down versus someone worse than Veronica. That wouldn't make a lot of sense now, would it? But someone like... You can't give her a ranking fight, in my opinion, but there's not really many good fighters outside of the top 15. Like, in the top 15, like most of the good flyweights, because there's just not a lot of talent outside the top 15. But her against like a Lipsky or something like that just doesn't make a lot of sense. Aldridge maybe, but someone like, but why would she fight someone who Veronica beat? You know, like, you see my fucking issues here? Like, there's just really no stellar options for her, because they're either coming off losses, like, what, Treza Bleda? Well, you know, that's not terrible. Most of these fighters are coming off fucking L's. Like, Anthony Shevchenko, what's the point there? So... like, I'm not really sure what you really do with Eduarda. Again, I really don't think you give her a top 15 fight. I think 1 more win and then you can do that. I guess Treza Bleda. That's like, she's not terrible. They try to give Bleda a top 15 fight against O'Neal, Casey, and earlier in the year, so they clearly think highly of her. So, Bleda and Eduarda? Question mark? I don't hate it. And then for Veronica, again, just heal up and bounce back. You got options. Fucking Luana Santos, Antonina Shevchenko, fucking Petrovic, Barbosa, fucking Julia. Well, she already beat Juliana, but like she can fight any of those fighters. Who would be an ideal matchup? Probably Luana. Like, I guess that's not terrible, but like, I don't know. There's a lot of options for. I guess Luana's not terrible. And she is staying out of this division, so Luana and Veronica both coming off L's. I'm not seeing much else. Like, who knows when Antonina's gonna be back, and Antonina's always gonna feel like a way step down because she's not that fucking good. So yeah, I guess Luana Santos is gonna be terrible. That'd be an intriguing fight. Someone has to get back on track, so yeah, I don't hate that. As of right now, Veronica, Luana Santos sounds okay to me, so yeah, not really much else to say. Fine fight to begin the night between two very decent fighters. Eduarda looks great up a weight class, and Veronica just didn't really have it tonight, so hopefully she can bounce back. Hopefully Eduarda can make a run at flyweight. Only thing I have to say is, who should they fight next? I like Eduarda versus, I guess, Teresa Bleda as of right now. I don't know, something. And Veronica versus Luana Santos. I think that's a decent fight. Both make as much sense as you can make with the little assets you have at flyweight. So, Bleda, Moura, Hardy, Santos. Fuck it, why not? Don't really get much better. So, yeah, besides that, great win for Eduarda Moura in her new weight class. She looked good. And let's see how far she can go. Good fight to begin the night in MSG. After that, we go to our second fight of the night and our first of a back-to-back in the welterweight division. As in our first of two welterweight fights to end the early prelims, we have but this one better, on paper of course, but in execution I might give it to the other one. I don't know, it's close. And then our second fight of the night in the welterweight division, we had a okay fight between Oban, Elliott versus Bassil, Hafez. Say here, for the first 10 minutes of the fight, Oban kind of just dominated Bassil at will. Like, Bassil kind of just followed him around the cage, didn't do a lot. Oban was just fighting really well off his back foot. I don't know what the fuck the judges were watching. It was a clear 2-0 for Oban. I don't think anyone on earth with working eyes no one on earth can give the first 2 rounds to Bassil, let alone fucking one of them, let alone 2. Oban was just like the better fighter for the first 10 minutes. He was doing a little more, not a lot more, but more than Bassil. And then in round 3, early into the round, Oban landed a beautiful overhand right to drop Bassil, a little bit of ground and pound, and that was the statement put on this fight. Oban Elliott by knockout in the third, beautiful knockout to seal a victory he already had in the bag if the judges knew what they were doing, but that's a big if. So I guess in a way he kind of needs this finish, which is bullshit, but the judge is going to judge. It's crazy this was going to be a split decision when Oban clearly won the first 10 minutes, but, you know, fucking logic. But, yeah, no need to worry about these shitty scorecards. Oban had it in the bag, knockout in the third. Nice shit. Really, really nice. First knockout of the night. It was a good one. Nice shit by Oban, man. Not very much else to say about the fight. Talked about the shitty judge's scorecards. It was pretty boring for the first 10 minutes. It was actually like a really boring fight. But a knockout saved it, so love to see. And outside of that, is there really anything else to say about the fight? Not really, in my opinion. So, let's talk about the fighters real quick. And we'll begin with Oban Elliott, of course. This dude's good. This dude's good, and he's getting better. 3-0 now. His striking is looking better. He didn't shoot really any takedowns, so maybe 1 or 2 he didn't get it. He's getting better. Like, this is definitely a better version of Oban than we saw in the Contender Series, than we saw against Val Woodburn. This dude's getting more well-rounded. Like, he doesn't have to just rely on his wrestling. Right? Like, his defense looked better. He didn't get rocked in this fight like he usually does. His striking looked better. Obviously, he got a knockout. His cardio looked really good. This dude's getting better, and that's really good to see. Dude's 26 years old, 12-2. Like, the dude, and it's crazy, just from the dude we saw earlier in the year, in February, he's gotten better from that. So, he's getting better. And you really like to see it, man. He's good. Oban's good. I've been fucking... I was hype on Oban. I was high on Oban coming off Contender Series, and so far he's done a really great job. Is he a flawless fighter? God, no, but it looked great here. Got a beautiful knockout, and he's getting better. His striking was definitely his weakness, and now that is looking under wraps and getting better, this guy's gonna be good. He's on the list of Prates and Battle, etc., for the many great prospects at welterweight right now. Let's see if he can join those guys in the top 15 sooner than later. He looks to have the talent. Can he keep it rolling? We'll see. And then to talk about Bassil Hafez, not really much to say. How bad is JDM? I guess would be the main question, because Oban Elliott, a guy who had lesser striking than JDM, was able to drop Bassil out cold, something JDM could not do on short notice. So, yeah. But, I don't know, this is Bassil's first real UFC loss after getting robbed against JDM, so... Is he that good of a fighter? No. That JDM fight definitely made us think a little bit better of him than he really is. But outside of that, like, he's okay. He can beat bad fighters like Gall, but, like, let's be honest, he's never going to beat a decent fighter. Like I said, he's just not the type to fraud check someone, and he's not going to fraud check Oban Elliott, so... Bassil's a decent fighter. He's tough, but he's not really a world beater, and we saw that here, so he'll bounce back. The dude has talent, but it's not a lot, and yeah, he's just not really a world beater, as I said. So he's an A fighter, not a great one. Only thing left to say now is who should they fight next. For Oban, he definitely deserves a decent fight now. Like, he's got his fucking warm-up fights back with fucking Woodburn and Bassil, etc. Now it's time for him to, like, get more of a step up. Who? That's a good question. I don't think D-Rod's gonna do that fight. Phil Rowe's not bad. I don't hate that. Phil Rowe and Oban would be kinda decent. Alex Morono, I don't really see that. Nico Price and Leach, and I don't think he's up to this level yet. Like him, like maybe Bond Fame or something like that, but I don't hate that Phil Rowe fight. And I think out of these four, because these are probably the four best options for him, I think Phil kind of the most interesting, might be the best pick. That or Morono, I don't see him fighting Nico Price, I don't see him fighting the Leech. But him against Morono or Phil Rowe, next time they go to London, which I think is in March, that'd be a good fight, either one of them. And I'm leaning more towards Phil Rowe. He's definitely, I feel, in, like, out of these four, on the hottest seat right now, because he's not been looking very good lately. So I don't hate Phil Rowe and Oban Elliott, but also Alex Morono is a decent option. So But yeah, that I think I'm gonna go Phil Rowe for this fight idea. So Oban and Phil Rowe. That's an interesting fight. I know I'm picking Oban in that, but I'm picking Oban against all 4 of these guys, to be honest. So we'll see if he can live up to that. Definitely a step up from fucking Bassil Hafez. Let's see if he can answer that call and prove he's legit. And then for Bassil, he's gonna go fight a lesser opponent, one of the, maybe a Contender Series debutant or someone along those lines, like a fucking Tim Means or some bullshit, I don't know. Just a lesser opponent, so, and if he'll probably win, to be honest, so, yeah, good luck to him there, Ramiz Brahimaj or some fucking bullshit, so, yeah. But, not really much else to say. Great win for Oban Elliott. Best performance of his career so far. And who should he fight next? I like him against Phil Rowe. I think that's an intriguing fight. And in March, when I go to London for a fight night, that could be a really good, like, second fight of the main card. Or a featured prelim. I think that, or again, Alex Morono. One of those two, I think, is the logical fight to make. So, let's see it. Oban and Phil Rowe or Alex Morono. I'm leaning more towards Phil Rowe, but either one works. I'm picking Oban in either one of those. So, yeah. Besides that, great win for Oban. Dude's getting better, which is scary. His striking looks good. Power looks good. Fortunately, you have another problem to add to the list like you didn't have enough before. Great win for Oban. And great first knockout of the night. And after that, we head to our last early prelims, thanks to losing Chris Weidman. As in our featured early prelims, staying in the welterweight division, we had another knockout, this time in the first round, as we had Ramiz Brahimaj versus McGhee Gall. Not gonna waste a lot of time here. You don't care about what happened here. I don't care about what happened here. Long story short, they did some striking for almost 3 minutes. Eventually, Ramiz landed a right hook in the clinch, dropped McGhee, ground and pound, done. Yeah, not really much to say. Ramiz was getting the better of McGhee anyway, and eventually he did drop him because McGhee has no striking and no chin. So, shocker. Not gonna say much. Do I care who they fight next? No. So no fight idea. So, well, who Ramiz fights next? I could give a fuck. Maybe, like right now, half asleep at 5 in the morning. I'm not wasting time looking for a Ramiz Brahimaj fight idea, let alone after he beat McGhee Gall. So, good win for Ramiz. Best he's ever looked in the UFC, but again, it was against McGhee fucking Gall, who is a pathetic excuse for a fighter. And then for McGhee Gall, enjoy PFL, buddy. You'll probably win some fights over there because it's the pathetic fight league. So, finally, McGhee Gall is fucking gone. Praise the fucking Lord. So, yeah. Not very much else to say. No, I don't care who they fight next. But a good one for me, the best he's ever looked, and a nice knockout at least. I'll give him that much. Not much else to say. McGhee, see ya, brother. Ramiz, good job, you can beat McGhee Gall, the barest of fucking minimums in MMA. Fine way to end our early prelims. So, yeah, that was the early prelims. They were good. 2 knockouts and Moura looked good. I can't complain. I think that was a pretty good early prelims. I have really no problems with it. Can't really complain about 2 fun knockouts and a decent opener, so decent early prelims. Fuck yeah, 2 bonus winners in it. You know you did something right if you're winning a bonus on the early prelims. And now we go to the prelims, which were very, very good. Which were very up and down. Good, mainly good, but a little bad in there, so let's not waste any more time, and let's get into it with our first fight of the prelims that got moved up because of the Weidman fight. And then our first prelim of the night in the heavyweight division, we had Marcin Tybura versus Jhonata Diniz. Not a lot to say here. In round 1, Diniz clipped Tybura, knocked him down, but the second they went to the ground, Tybura was able to flip him over and lay on top of him. I gave the first round to Diniz because he got the knockdown and was actually trying to fight, but I guess who cares about that. Round 2, Tybura took him down pretty quickly, ground and pounded him for however long they were on the ground. Late in the round, he cut him open badly, and I think over both eyes and on the nose. So, great areas. And then in between round 2 and 3, obviously after round 2, the doctor came in, checked him, and just stopped it not because of the cuts, because his legs were wobbly. They thought that he had a concussion, which he probably fucking did. No shit, Sherlock. He's a fucking MMA fighter who just ate like 25 elbows. Dumbass. But, yeah, I think the bullshit doctor stoppage to UFC is so fucking soft. Like, if you stopped it because of the cuts, okay. I still think you're weak, but I get it. He had one on his left eyelid. I think he had one above his right eye, and then one under the nose. Fine. You stopped because his legs were wobbly. Again, the dude's a fighter. He just ate 75 fucking elbows. Dumbass. Of course his legs are gonna be fucking wobbly. I don't know. People are fucking stupid. That's beside the point. Fine performance by Tybura, I guess. I think he's a coward. Should have went toe to toe with him, but you wanted to rub your fucking belly on him. Whatever. Tybura sucks. Diniz is a fraud. Who cares? I don't really got much to say about the fight. That's about all I gotta say about the fight, to be honest. The fighters, like I said, Tybura sucks. Never really been impressed with him. Diniz is a fraud. And let's just get to fight ideas. Real quick, who should Tybura fight? Everyone above him's booked. Spivak's fighting Jhonata. Blades is not booked, is he? Pavlovich is fighting Jairzinho. I guess you could do Tybura and Blades if that fight's never happened, which I don't believe it has. Has he ever fought Curtis? I'm not seeing that on his fucking record. I'm actually shocked they've both been in the UFC for fucking ever together. So yeah, most likely Blades would make the most sense, even because who would he fight down? He lost to Derek, he beat Ty, Jairzinho's booked. Why would he fight De Lima? I guess he could fight one of these guys, but yeah, most likely Curtis Blades would make the most sense. So Tybura and Blades sounds fine to me. Blades can fucking destroy him real quick. So yeah, sounds like a good idea to me. Unless Blades has a fight booked, and I don't fucking know it, but I'm 99% sure Blades does not have shit booked right now. Yeah, so yeah, Tybura and Blades sounds fine to me. Probably gonna be a shitty fight night main event next year. Hopefully I'm wrong. And yeah, not very much else to say. No, I don't care who fraud Diniz fights. Simple as that. Tybura and Blades makes sense. Hopefully Blades does to Tybura what Tybura did to Diniz. He deserves it for cuddling and ruining a prospect that we need, because welterweight fucking sucks. Or heavyweight sucks, my bad. And, yeah, besides that, the only blemish on the prelims, in my opinion, should have been better, plus a weak doctor stoppage. I don't know. Tybura and Blades, book it. Besides that, fraud check. And our first fraud check of the night, we had one more on the main card. No, it wasn't Bo Nickal. Damn it. But, yeah, not very much else to say there. At least we got some blood. About the only positive. After that, we go to our second fight of the prelims, a banger that I think could easily have been fight of the night, and might have been the real fight of the night, to be honest. And then our second fight of the prelims in the lightweight division. This did get moved up to lightweight since Roberto stepped in on short notice. They did not say that in Tapology before. Thank you, Tapology. But yeah, this was at lightweight, but it's 2 featherweights. And then our second fight of the prelims in the lightweight division, we had David Onama versus Roberto Romero. What a banger. Yeah, this Romero kid, I was wrong to think he was a fucking pushover. Round 1, great round. They both traded big shots. Roberto dropped Onama bad. Late in the round, Onama dropped in a way Romero. I gave Romero round 1. I think the judges were really fucking being assholes for no reason here. I don't know how you don't give Roberto a round, let alone round 1, where I think most people would say he won that round. So yeah, judges just being assholes like always. But then in the last 2 rounds, Onama kind of started to look better. He looked better in round 2, landing the better shots on Romero, making it 1-1 going into the third. And then in round 3, Onama halfway through the round just took him down and controlled him. Lame, but smart. And it should have been a 29-28 for Onama, but judges hate fun and being honest, so it was a 30-27 when that makes no fucking sense. So either way, Onama won, and but he had to work for that. He really had to work for that when Roberto made him work for everything in that fight. So good for Romero. And yeah, Onama, this was not a cakewalk. So you learned today. Well, I know I did at least. So yeah, good fight, really good fight. Not a great one for Onama since he did not look great versus a 4-day notice dude, but a great debut for Romero. So yeah, not really much I'll say. Probably my pick for fight of the night, if I'm being honest. Again, I thought this was really fucking good, and yeah, what a banger. What a surprising banger when I thought it was going to be a quick fucking mopping. It turned out to be a banger, so I'll take it. Not very much I'll say about the fight, my bad. Yeah, I pretty much said everything I had to say about the fight. It was a banger, and the judging was terrible, but outside of that, I guess let's get into the fighters now. And actually, I'm going to start with the loser here, Roberto Romero. Respect to this kid. He looked fucking great. 4 days notice versus a decent fighter like Onama. Kid looked great. Kid looked fucking great. Like, round 1, round 2 was close. He put up a fight on a full camp. He might win this fight, to be honest. So he looked really fucking good, and does it make any sense looking at his record? No, but fuck it, kid looked really good, and I'm really excited to see when he comes back on a full camp. So back down at featherweight also, cause he's a natural featherweight. So I'm excited to see when he bounces back on a full camp at featherweight. Kid's good. Kid's really fucking good, and hopefully he's not another one of those guys who kind of gives you a false sense of security after their debut, because it was a close fight, like a Bassil Hafez, a perfect example. But yeah, just going off his debut and not the future. Great performance by Roberto, and I'm very excited to see him back on full camp after a great debut. So kid's good. Kid's really fucking good. And talk about Onama. He got handed a guy on 4 days notice, and he looked very mediocre. And by the way, neither guy missed weight. This fight got moved up to lightweight. I don't know why they're acting like they missed weight. That's Tapology being wrong. So, yeah. But, good win for Onama in a way, but at the same time, he did not look like a -900 favorite. He looked, I don't know if he overlooked Romero or what, but he definitely, he had to work for this win. So, I don't think Onama's a world beater, but he had to work here, and he did what he could. He didn't look bad. And now that's 3 wins in a row. Let's see what's next for Onama, man. Let's see. Maybe he'll get an easier fight than Romero, because, man, Romero made him fight. But besides that, not very much else to say. Well, if I'm blanking, I feel like I'm blanking on something I want to say, but I don't know what, so yeah, let's just get to the final part of this fight, which will be fight ideas. For Onama, I don't think he should rebook the Luke Almeida fight. I really don't get that fight. I didn't get that fight to begin with. I really don't know why Almeida's getting that fight. Cause ain't Almeida coming off a fucking loss or some shit? Oh no, he's coming off a win over fucking Kwamba. Yeah, so no. Like, you shouldn't rebook that fight. I think Romero was better than Almeida, so kind of seems like a step backwards. But for Onama, who could he fight? Feely would be a banger. Julian Rosa would be a banger. Yeah, him and Feely would be fun. Like Stipe deserves a bigger fight. Nathaniel Wood, that's a weird fight. I don't know how I feel about that. Gomez, nah. Caceres, nah. Zalal, nah. Burrito, I don't know what you do with him at this point. I don't hate Onama and Feely. I think that's a very fun fight. That or Julian Rosa. But I think Rosa should fight. Who did I say? I think it was Gomez. Yeah, I don't think it's smart to put Rosa in there with a dude who hits as hard as Onama. So, as of right now, my fight idea for Onama would probably be Andre Feely. Again, I think that's a very fun fight. Feely, another very chinny fighter, but I think he has a better chin than Rosa. So, yeah, I'm down to see it. Onama, Feely, that'd be a banger on any fucking card. So, let's see it. I'm down to see that, so let's see that. And then for Romero, just give him a step down and go, fuck, maybe he can fight Luke Almeida. I don't think that's a bad idea. It'd be a pretty logical fight. I'm picking Romero in that fight 100%. So, but, man, whoever he fights, it's gonna be a step down, obviously. Someone lower level at featherweight, and I think he'll win. Dude looked good, and, I'm very, very interested to see this kid back on a full camp, so let's see how he does there. But outside of that, not really much else to say. Fun fight, banger between two fun fighters, and who should they fight next? I like David Onama versus Andre Feely. I think that's a really fun fight. Then for Roberto, Luke Almeida, maybe. Outside of that, just give him a step down, someone he will probably beat, because he looked really good here. And, yeah, not really much else to say. Great fight. Could have easily been 5 of the night. And respect to this Romero kid. He ain't a pushover. After that, we go to our co-main event of the prelims. Our first of 2 retirements on the card in our well, I'm not really sure what I was going to say next. Just a quick, fun fight. I don't know what else this fight really was outside of our first retirement of the night. Not the hardest fight to predict, and not the craziest fight either. This was pretty one note as expected, so I guess there's not really much point into dragging this out, so let's just get into it. As in our co-main event of the prelims in the lightweight division, we had some old dudes, as we had Jim Miller versus Damon Jackson. Like I said, we had some old OGs in this fight, so you know what you're getting with these two. And what did we get here? Well, for the first about 2.5 minutes, Damon was actually doing pretty well on the feet, maybe even winning. Like, they had a few exchanges, but overall, I feel like Damon was doing a little bit better on the feet. He landed some nice shots. And doing good. Jim lands some nice shots as well, but just feels like Damon was a little more active, landing the better shots. But eventually, speaking of shots, Damon shot a takedown, which was stupid for many reasons, and got guillotined. You don't shoot on Jim Miller. So, yeah, that was not really your smartest idea, let alone when you're doing good on the feet. So, you kinda did it to yourself, buddy. But, yeah, not really a lot to this fight. A little bit of striking, the takedown attempt, the guillotine, and we're out of there. Quick, easy, Jim fucking Miller, baby. Yeah, never go wrong for a fight like this. Love seeing Jim Miller win a fight. And, yeah, two old dudes. Yeah, always cool to see two veterans fight. And this one, the older, wiser veteran, got the W. So, yeah, not really much else to say. Fun, quick little fight. And, good one for Jim Miller. Not gonna say much when talking about these two, because there's not much to say. I'll start with Jim Miller. No, he was not the one to retire here. He will never fucking retire. The dude is fucking 3-2 in his last 5, which is batshit insane. At 41 years old, he can still go. It is truly fucking incredible that he can still fight at such a decent level. So, and he's probably gonna fight. This was his 45th UFC fight. He's probably gonna fight till 50 fights and retire, hopefully at his 50th fight, win or lose. He's not gonna make it to 400. So, a UFC fight with Jim Miller will just not be right. So, happy for Jim. Always good to see Jim get a win. And 27-17 in the UFC. Batshit crazy. Gotta love Jim Miller. You don't shoot on Jim fucking Miller. You'll learn that the hard way. And then talking about Damon, who did retire after this fight. He had a fun career. 6-1-1 in the UFC. I get why he retired. He moved up a weight class, trying to make his last little run. He gets submitted in 2.5 minutes almost. He is 36 years old. He's taken a lot of damage in his career. Been knocked out how many times? 4 times. Submitted twice. Like, he should have been KO'd by Stipe, to be honest. So, like, he had a good little career. Like, and since coming back to the UFC, he went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, so all his wins were in his comeback. And his only losses were his worst loss in his return was what? Billy Q, who's really good. So, he just always had to get a hard fight after a win or two. So, like, out of his last 5 fights, Danny gave Billy Q, Chevy Marscar, Jim Miller. God damn, he fought Elliott Topuria in Elliott's second fight. We know how that fucking went. So, I kind of feel bad for Damon, but he had a fun little career. Like, his highlight of his career would probably be that Pat Sabatini fight. Getting the knockout after, I think his brother died or something, like a week before. So, that was cool. As a big underdog beating Pat Sabatini, knocking him out. That was badass. But, outside of that, not really, he was kind of a journeyman. Didn't really do a lot in his career, but he still had some moments. And at 6 years old, he hangs them up. So, enjoy retirement, brother. Had some fun fights, and now you can relax. Enjoy retirement, Damon. All thing I'm saying now is who should Jim fight next? Obviously, he's the only one still on the roster. He did not retire. It's Jim Miller. He's always gonna be in like close to the rankings. So who could he fight? That'd be really fun. You don't feed him to a young dude like Gene Silva or some bullshit like that. Who would be a fun fight for Jimmy? Terrence McKinney would be fun, but who knows when he's fighting again. And that just kind of seems like, you know, like why take that fight? Mick Tebek? Frivola? Ooh. Frivola and Jim Miller? they don't train together, right? Because he goes to Longo, and I don't think Jim Miller trains at Longo. Jim Miller and Matt Favola, I think they're both Jersey boys. Am I right? Yeah, New York, New Jersey. Jim Miller and Matt Favola? Or Jim Miller and Drew Dober? Like, I like either one of those fights. I'm down for Miller and Favola though. I'm not really seeing much else. Like, I'll go to the second page. I know, like, the older dudes are on this page. Like, you're Vince Purcell's. But he's already fought all the old dudes in the division. Like, what old dude in the division has he not fucking fought? So, yeah, I'm down to see him versus Dober or Favola. And I'm leaning more Favola since Dober is a lot more dangerous. He's a lot younger. Matt's definitely a lot closer to Jim's age and durability. Actually, is Dober older? He is. Huh. So yeah, Dober or Favola, both would be very fun fights for Jim. I'm down to see either one. And yeah, I'm down to see either. Which one would I rather see? Favola might be more fun, but at the same time, Dober would be a fun banger as well. So either way, I'm down. I love both those fights. So let's see what happens. Favola or Drew Dober versus Jim Miller. Can't go wrong. Let's see what happens. Only thing left to really say about this co-main of the prelims. Great one for Jim Miller. Always love seeing Jim Miller get a win. You don't shoot on Jim Miller. Come on now. That's like shooting on Charles Oliveira. And yeah, not very much else to really say. Quick W for Jim. How he did not get a bonus, I don't know. But yeah, nice guillotine. Jim, how many submissions is that now? 45th UFC fight, 21st submission. Crazy. Great win for Jim. Best underdog on the card, as predicted by me. I told you I could see him finishing Damon, but I was thinking more of a knockout, so I was wrong. But besides that, great win for Jim Miller. Always good to see him bounce back. And enjoy retirement, Damon. Enjoy retirement. Who should Jim fight next? Either Matt Favola or Drew Dober. Either one would be a banger. And yeah, some old dudes went in there and had a quick little fun fight. Can't complain. Good one for A10. And now time for the featured prelim in the bantamweight division. A fight that on paper, in my opinion, was the best fight on the card, and in execution it was underwhelming. I thought this fight was fine, but it could have been better than our featured prelim in the bantamweight division. We had Marcus McGhee versus Jonathan Martinez. Not the fight I expected. I did not think this fight would really go 15 minutes, but it definitely did. For the first 10 minutes of the fight, it's kind of like the Veronica Hardy fight to an extent, where McGhee kind of just had Martinez watching. Like, Martinez was very, like, it's kind of the same thing as the Jose Aldo fight, if you watch that fight. Martinez really doesn't do much early besides just block. He's kind of just, I'm not sure what he's really doing, waiting for an opening, like, trying to get a read, like, I'm not really sure. So he kind of just threw away the first 10 minutes of the fight, and then in the third he finally started to fight, and he did great. He almost finished Marcus by leg kicks. He really fucked up his leg, but it was too little too late, and Marcus McGhee escaped with a 29-28 W. Like, the same problem Martinez had against Aldo. He just didn't really start fighting till late. But at least in at least in this fight, he did show up and start fighting late. Against Aldo, he just got mauled, but still. Martinez is just really passive at times and really fucking screwed him here. Like, you can't just throw away the first 10 minutes of the fight blocking, let alone against a dude who's not gonna gas out. So it was just really bad fight IQ from Martinez, and this ain't the first time he's done this. He's just fucking stuck watching the fight half the time instead of actually fighting. and it really cost him here in a fight. He could have won. Again, if he would have started leg kicking sooner, he might have crippled McGhee by the third, instead of crippling him in the third when it was a little too late. So, he in a 5-rounder he would have won, but this ain't 5 rounds, man. You gotta fight for the first 10 minutes of it. And that's just something Martinez did not do, so he knows better. He should know better by now, but shit happens. He keeps fucking shelling up in these big fights. Not really sure what else to say. The first 10 minutes were Marcus McGhee pretty much sparring and then surviving. Pretty simple. Can't really say much more than that, man. Anything else to say? No, not really. The judges got it right completely. So, yeah, I guess let's talk about the fighters now. We'll start with Marcus McGhee, 34 years old, but this man can fucking go. Yeah, getting his first decision win of his career, showing he can go 15 minutes. He didn't look tired, he just looked, his leg was just really fucking hurt, so he looked good. He looked good in the biggest fight of his career against the toughest opponent so far. He did a really good job. He made Martinez watch for the first 10 minutes. He looked good. He checked the leg kicks from time to time. He threw them back from time to time. He was a better striker. He looked good. It wasn't as easy as his other UFC fights, but it shouldn't be. If you're fighting a top 15 dude, it should be harder than the unranked guys. And it was. So, and now he's in the top 15. 34 years old, 10-1, just beat the number 14th ranked guy. Another really good fighter in the top 15 at 135, man. You'd love to see it. And now the 4th ranked fighter in that division from the MMA lap, Sean O'Malley, Kyler Phillips, Mario Batista, Marcus McGhee. Crazy. But yeah, great win for McGhee, proving he's legit, and now let's see him in the top 15, man. I'm excited. This guy's good. He's fucking good. He's that guy. He's legit. And to talk about Martinez, I kind of already said what I had to say. Again, he just showed up in a big fight. He's a good fighter. He has all the talent in the world. He just keeps shelling up. He should have fucking started fighting sooner. He waited too long. He was stuck watching the fight for the first 10 minutes. And then when he started fighting in the third, he needed a finish. And he just didn't have that killer instinct to get it. So, it sucks. Because again, Martinez is really good. He has all the talent in the world. But he just kind of gets stuck watching the fight at times. And that happened here. So, I like Martinez. Again, he's very talented. This is the second time I've ever picked against him. But he has to stop doing this, where he just watches his own fight. And against Aldo, he kind of did it. Against McGhee, he completely did it. I don't know. I don't know if it's nerves or what, but he has to show up. So, and he just lost his fucking ranking most likely, unless they kick someone else to top 15, which they shouldn't. So, he'll bounce back, because he probably will beat someone outside the top 15, even if they are a decent named fighter. But, he's gonna fucking kick himself for this fight, so he's really gonna just be annoyed watching this back, seeing him just stuck watching the fight, pretty much, so. He's talented, all the talent in the world, but just couldn't really wake up till the third. Sucks to see. Only thing I have to say now is, who should they fight next? For Marcus McGhee, now a newly minted top 15 fighter. Who the fuck does he fight? Well, let's see. Eamon should fight Kyler. So those two are off the table. Maybe Montel? I know Marcus called out Jose Aldo. I don't see that fight happening. I think Montel should fight fucking Cheeto. I think that'd be a fun fight. Let's just say Montel and Cheeto, Eamon and Kyler. But Jose should fight Cejudo. So he's not gonna fight Batista. Batista's his boy. That leaves Font and Aldo. Or Font and Yadong, my bad. So Mario fights one of them. I'm down to see Marcus McGhee and Song Yadong. I think that'd be a badass fight. Marcus McGhee, Song Yadong, Mario Batista can fight Rob Font. I'm fucking down for Marcus McGhee and Song Yadong. Yadong coming off the loss to fucking Piotr, I believe. Unless I'm blanking on a fight, but yeah, he lost to Piotr. I'm down to see it. I'm more than down to see Marcus McGhee and fucking Song Yadong. Let's do it. What a fucking wave of new top 15 fighters. Montel, Eamon, Marcus. You'd love to see it, man. 135 keeps getting better. And for Dragon Martinez, obviously he's gonna get a fight outside the top 15 now. Fucking Oliveira would be a fucking crazy fight, but I doubt they do that. Yeah, I could see him fighting like a Taylor Lappy loose or fucking something like that. Or maybe Payne Talbot if he beats Barcelos. Something like that would be fun. But he's not gonna fight Gutierrez because Gutierrez is his boy. So yeah, we'll see what they do with Martinez. He'll probably win his next fight depending on the matchup. So he just needs to fight. So we'll see if he can. And again, Marcus McGhee and Song Yadong. Who would not love to see that fight? I'm not really sure, so let's see it. Song and Marcus. Font can fight Batista. Eamon fights Kyler. Cheeto fights Montel. All sound like good fights to me. Let's book them. God, 135 is so good. But yeah, not very much I will say about this fight. It was okay. Not special, but it was fine. Just showing Marcus McGhee can do more than just knock people dead in 2 rounds, so that's good to see. And if you pick Johnson Martinez, you are very frustrated, so but that's the risk you get with Dragon Martinez. So yeah, not very much I will say. Good one for Marcus McGhee. Welcome to the top 15, and who should he fight next? I like Marcus McGhee and Song Yadong. Do I think the UFC does that fight? Probably not. But would I like to see that fight? Yes, I would love to see that fight. I think that'd be beyond badass. So let's see it. Yadong, Marcus McGhee, book it. Not very much I would say. Good one for McGhee, proving he's legit. Martinez, man, stop watching your own fights. Gotta fight, brother. But yeah, those were the prelims. Only an hour after into the break to recap. They were good. Like overall, the prelims were good. When Tybura was the worst fight of the prelims, that's not too bad. Moura looked good. Oban, fun knockout. Ramiz, good knockout. Onama, great fight. Jim Miller, great to see. McGhee, fine fight. It was a good prelims. I'm fine with it. I didn't mind it, and I think they really carried this card on paper and even more in execution. So, great prelims. Now we move on to the main card, which was shit. So, hopefully this won't take too long to tear us a new asshole. So, yeah, let's not waste more time than we have to. Let's get into our main card opener, which was terrible. And then our main card opener in the lightweight, in the catchweight division of 165, where this fat fuck still missed weight. We have Mauricio Ruffy versus James Llontop. On paper, this was a really good fight to begin the main card, because Ruffy was going to get a quick finish. In execution, this was a god-awful fucking fight that shouldn't have even been on the fucking early prelims. Yeah, Ruffy looked shit. Ruffy fucking shit a bed to the 9th degree. I don't know what the fuck happened here. Round 1 was close. I gave to Llontop, to be honest. I thought he did better work, but I guess I was wrong. I don't know. Like, my ESPN wink wink was not running the best during a few of these main card fights, so take that for what you will. But I gave Llontop round 1. I thought he did decent work. I thought he landed better than more strikes, I believe. I think it's a legit fact he landed more strikes. And he didn't get knocked down, so... Like, I'm pretty sure he landed more strikes. Unless I'm high. But I'm pretty sure I looked. It just felt like he landed more in round 1. Like, he just felt like he did better than Ruffy. 21-19, very close. So, 2 strikes apart, and it just feels like a knockdown. When did he get knocked down? I don't remember a knockdown in round 1 by Mauricio. But, again, ESPN did not run the best, so... It wasn't Netflix bad, but still. Yeah, so he only got knocked down in round 2 because this shit's glitching out. He did not get a knockdown in round 3. I know he didn't because I fucking watched round 3. So, he got knocked down in round 2, and that's it. So, I gave Llontop round 1. Maybe it's just me. Round 2, Ruffy dominated him. I would say a 10-8 round almost. It's I had it 1-1 going into the third with a 10-8 for Ruffy, and Llontop came out in the third and looked good. Definitely his best round of the fight, just landed the better shots. I had it a draw. I thought Llontop took the first and third. I thought Ruffy had a 10-8 second. I had it a draw. Of course, they're not going to score that way because they love Ruffy. Ruffy's their fucking golden boy right now. And he shit the bed. He looked fucking terrible. So, again, I had a draw. I think Llontop got robbed of a draw. He didn't win the fight. But I don't think Ruffy won the fight either. He looked like shit. So, I would say a draw. Unless I missed something, I don't really see how you can say Ruffy looked good. He couldn't finish a fucking bum in Llontop. So Chris Padilla's better than Ruffy? Like, I'm not impressed. I think Ruffy looked like shit. Should have been a draw, in my opinion. So, that's just what I think. Maybe I'm wrong. I'll rewatch round 1, but I swear I think this should have been a draw. So, yeah. But besides that, not gonna say much about each fighter. Ruffy, you shit the bed. This was your coming out party. You looked terrible. Llontop, you suck, and somehow you overperformed. Fucking, you can't do this against Taco Padilla when you're their favorite, but you can do it when you're a giant underdog. Thanks, dickhead. And I guess the only thing left to say is who should they fight next for Ruffy? I don't fucking know. They're gonna give him someone highly touted, and I don't think he deserves it. I really like... First of all, do you think he beats half these guys after tonight? I don't. Second of all, does he deserve any of these higher level guys after tonight? I don't think so. So, like, do you really think he deserves a Drew Dober or a Ludwig Klein or Ben like he called out Benoit Saint Denis? Like, dude, you don't deserve a top 15 after this. You look like shit. You're the worst of the fighting nerds by a mile. And you had the easiest fight. Fucking Kaio's fighting Cannoneer. Prata is fighting Neil Magny. You're fighting James Llontop on a fucking week notice. And you look like shit. What the fuck is wrong with you? I'm not impressed. I think this should have been a draw. And, I don't know who they fight next. They're gonna give Ruffy a fight he's not ready for. And he wasn't even ready for this fight, so... Not impressed at all. I get him, by the way, he's not Conor McGregor. He looks nothing like Conor McGregor in the cage. Conor would have knocked out this bum in a little on top, so... I'm not impressed. I thought he looked like shit. And yeah. I got my lock of the night right, even though I think it should have been a draw, so... Terrible main card opener between two terrible fighters. After that, we go to our second fight of the main card, which was it better? Probably the best fight of the first 3 on the main card, which says so little. As in our second fight of the main card, in the flyweight division, we had Viviane Araujo versus Karine Silva. God, this fight was bad. Again, probably the best fight of the early 3 on the main card, which says a lot. In round 1, it was close, because nothing happened. Araujo is pretty much just running around the cage as Karine chased her. Again, I guess another round 1 no one agrees with me on. Fuck you, I guess. But, it just feels like Araujo did a little more, but again, I don't care. Round 1 was lame. And round 2, definitely the best round for Karine. She did some good work, I feel. Almost got a submission late, bloodied Araujo up. She did almost get submitted as well, but I feel like Karine did better work in the second, but clearly if you flip the first and second, you got at most people's scorecards, I guess. I guess it's not that bad. And then round 3 was all Araujo. Karine just gassed down, looked like shit. And clear round for Vivi. The only clear round of the fight, in my opinion. And yeah, after 15 weird-ass minutes, Vivi got the W, fraud checking Karine Silva. Again, I guess I don't know what the fuck I'm watching. I think Vivi took the first and third, but clearly people think she won the second and third. Again, ESPN didn't run very well during the main card. Link. This fight sucked anyway, who gives a fuck? So, yeah, why was this on the main card? I get they're ranked fighters, but that's never mattered before. So is Jonathan Martinez and fucking Marcin Tybura. So, yeah, when the fuck has that ever mattered? Yeah, like the cool visuals of like them covered in blood, etc., makes this fight seem a lot cooler than it was, because it was not fucking cool at all. So, yeah, not a great fight. Boring. The only round that was kind of exciting was round 2. Round 1 was boring. Round 3 was boring. So, just boring. But big upset for Vivi, and nice W. So, nice fraud checking. God damn it, Karine. Okay, we still got Natalia Silva at least. But yeah, besides that, not much more to say about the fight. So let's talk about the fighters real quick. For Vivi, good win. She still got it at 37 years old. Still can hang with the best of them. Now back on track for W. And right back into the Shark Tank of 125. So she definitely gonna get a big fight after this. Fraud checking for Karine on pay-per-view. Let's see who they give her, man. She definitely has earned a big fight opportunity. Like, she hasn't had many of those before. She hasn't won any of them, but still, this is probably her biggest win. Winning on a pay-per-view in MSG against a prospect you're meant to lose to. Good shit. Very good shit from Vivi. And then for Karine, again, welcome to the fraud club. She's shown signs of it in the past. Her gas tank sucks. Her striking sucks. And, yeah, welcome to the fraud club. You can beat fucking Ketlin Sosa and Ariane Lipski, but against someone who is gonna just roll over and die, you suck. You're not even the best Silva in that division. SMH. Besides that, who should I fight next? For Vivi, again, after a big win like this, you deserve a big fight. Number 9 ranked. Well, she's in a tough spot right now, because you gotta think about this. Like, outside of Andrade or Rose, who would she fight? She already fought Seminara. She's not gonna fight Natalia Silva. She's not gonna fight Macy Barber. She's not gonna fight Erin Blanchfield. She's not gonna fight Montefiore. And Alexa Grasso's injured. And Andrade and Rose should fight each other, so you're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. Unless she fights Jasmine, but why fight down again after you just won? Why fight even farther down? So I really don't know who Araujo fights. Because, again, Andrade should fight Rose, Natalia, Barber, Earn. Like, she's not going to get any of these. So, unless she rematches Seminara for no reason, I'd really, like, after 4 years, I really just don't know who she fights. So, we'll see. Maybe she fights down again against a Jasmine or a Casey O'Neill, but I really don't know why she would do that. So, if she wants to take that risk again, respect, but the smart thing to do is just wait for a big opportunity. If they offer Andrade or Rose, kind of hard not to take that, so you guys just wait and see with Vivi. I really just have no idea who she fights. Like, maybe she can get a big fight against one of the top five, but I just don't see it, so. She's already fucking lost to 2 of them in Grasso and Natalia. So, we'll see what happens, man. We'll see. But then Karine, who gives a fuck? So, yeah. Besides that, not really much else to say. Was it a good fight? God, no. Was it a nice upset? I'll give her that. Good win for Vivi. Getting back on track at 37 years old. Gonna be 38 and very soon. And, yeah, welcome to the Fraud Club, Karine. Welcome back to the winning club, Vivi. Not a good fight, but why was it here to begin with? Outside of that, no idea who Vivi fights next, because really, there's not a lot of opportunities out there with where she's ranked, unless she rematches Caitlin Chukagian, which I doubt. And, yeah, not really much else to say. Boring fight. But it happens. Speaking of boring fights, maybe the most pathetic fight I've ever fucking seen, as in our 3rd fight of the main card, one of the most disgraceful fights I've ever fucking watched. I don't even know what to say about this, as in our 3rd fight of the main card in the middleweight division, we had Bo Nickal versus Paul Craig. What the fuck was this fight? This was fucking dreadful. This is a disgrace to striking. Because all they did for 15 minutes was pretend to strike. They have no idea how to throw a punch. I've seen better striking from fucking Mike Tyson in 2024. And that's not the last time I'm gonna make a joke about that. This was terrible. Like, yeah, Bo clearly won, we all know that. Like, fucking garbage. This was fucking dreadful to watch. Like, yeah, most people agree Bo just walked away with this fight. So, yeah, I picked decision perfectly. I thought he was gonna lay on Paul for 15 minutes. Now he pretended to strike with him. So, terrible fight. I can't even say much else besides that. God-awful fight. And, yeah, terrible. I'm not sure what else you want me to say. Fucking awful. Pathetic. So, what a fucking joke. I don't got much to say about either fighter. Bo, I don't know what to think of this dude. His striking is getting better. Couldn't have got worse. And clearly it's not that great if you couldn't look that even. Clearly it didn't get much better if you still look pretty average against Paul Craig. And then Paul Craig fucking sucks. How is he still in the UFC? Come on now. I don't know what to say. This was fucking dreadful. And, yeah. Garbage. Fucking garbage. Only thing left to say is who should I fight next for Bo. Most likely he gets a top 15 fight. I could see him fighting Michelle Pereira. It's probably it's a really easy fight for him. Because outside of that, they don't want to kill Shara. Fluffy deserves better. Hermanson never fights. Paulo's probably going to fight Shara. Deladze, no. So probably Michelle Pereira and Bo would make the lot. I could see the UFC doing that. Outside of that, I really don't know who he would fight. If he's gonna fight someone outside the top 15 again. they're probably gonna have to play it really fucking safe, or you're gonna feed him to fucking, or feed a boo to him, or Kevin Holland. So, yeah, probably Michelle Pereira. I could see him doing that to poor Michelle. So, yeah, I could see that. Do I agree with that? No. But fucking, the UFC, they want to get their baby into the rankings. So, and let's be honest, Bo Nickal beats Michelle Pereira. Especially after that fluffy fight, he beats Michelle Pereira. I could see that being an Apex main event next year. I can just see them fucking poster now. So, let's see if Dana can get his baby into the top 15. Bo Nickal, Michelle Pereira sounds really weird to me. Look it. No, Paul Craig, don't get on. You're not getting another fight. Go to PFL, bitch. Bo Nickal, Michelle Pereira sounds perfectly like the UFC logic to me. And outside of that, terrible fight, terrible fighters. What the fuck was this? Next. After that, we go to our only bright spot of the main card, which no shocker there. And then our co-main event of the evening in the lightweight division. We had a banger, even though it was pointless. We had a pointless rematch banger between Charles Oliveira versus Michael Chandler. No, it was not as good as the first fight. No, it still did not need to happen. And no, these two are very fucking old. No, that last one was stupid. But yeah, this was not as good as their first fight, and no, this did not need to happen. It still should have been Dan Hooker and Charles Oliveira, and I'll stick by that. Good fight though. For the first 4 minutes, for the first 4 rounds, Charles just dominated Chandler at will, beat him up on the feet, beat him up on the ground. I think everyone had it 4-0 Charles going into the 5th, and then in the 5th, Chandler had tried to get the knockout late, didn't really work, but he did everything he could. It was fun. 49-46 Charles Oliveira. Pretty easy score, maybe even a 10-8 in there if you're being nice. Either way, do Bronx by domination, clearly won the first 4 rounds. Charles is back, and he looked great. He beat Chandler everywhere. For the first 20 minutes, he beat Chandler everywhere on the feet. He was beating him up on the ground. He was beating him up. It was just domination from Charles. So I love to see it. Love to see Du Bronx back doing his thing, and then it wouldn't be a Charles fight if he didn't have drama at some point in the fight. And yeah, almost got knocked down in the 5th, but he survived. So yeah, good for Charles, man. We needed a Charles win after fucking Max Holloway, Mike Tyson, all that bullshit. So we needed a Charles win, and we got it. Thank fuck. So yeah, good for Charles, man. So yeah, not really much else to say about the fight. It was really fun. Probably the second best fight of the night in my opinion, but if you want to call it the best, that's fine. And yeah, great fight, great co-main. Only good thing about the main card, and that was that. To talk about each fighter real quick, I don't need to say much. For Charles, he's Charles. He's back. Probably gonna fight the winner of Arman and Islam. Unless he fights Max Holloway for the BMF, even though Max does not have the BMF anymore, or he does fight Dan Hooker, but I don't really see him taking that fight. So more than likely he's going to fight the winner of Arman Islam, which is really fucking good sounding to me. He long overdue rematch there with Islam, and then Arman. People somehow think he won that fight, so I guess let's run that back if you want. Not really sure what else you could do with him, but again, I'll do fight ideas in a second. So, but 35 years old, Charlie still got it. Not as good as he was, but he still got it. And for Chandler, he's so washed. His fight IQ still sucks. His power seems to be diminishing. His cardio sucks, his ground game sucks, his striking's getting worse. He probably should retire, but if he wants to keep kicking, let him keep kicking. He called out Conor, like always. He can't just let that fucking dream go. I don't know what the fuck he does next, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. Yeah, good to see him back in the cage, but he definitely looked older and slower, and not as much like Chandler, so yeah, I don't know, not really much to say about Mikey. Good to see him back, and hopefully he can stay active. Stop wasting time and breath on Conor. Only thing left to say now is who should they fight next for Charles. As I said, more than likely he fights the winner of Arman Islam. I don't see him fighting Dan Hooker. I don't see him taking that fight. I would love to see that fight, but I just don't. Or against Max, I'm down for either or, but I just really struggle to see those fights happening, to be honest. I could see this fight more likely than I could see them fighting Charles, so most likely Charles is just gonna wait out and fight the winner of January between Islam and Arman. So it sounds fine to me. So Charles fights the winner of this Gaethje and Poirier fight, Max and Hooker fight. Sounds good to me. I'm down to see all of that. So I can't complain. I can't say much else. So yeah. And then for Chandler, if he stops wasting breath on Conor, who could he fight? I'm still down to see him fight Fiziev. I'll keep saying that. I'll keep throwing that fight out there, because it still should happen. But it probably won't, so I can dream. I can fucking dream. So, yeah. Good fight, though. Either way, it's still not as good as the first fight. It was never going to be, though, so yeah. The 3 years later, when they're older and not as good, it's not going to be as good as their first fight, so shocker. But yeah, not very much else to say. Always good to see Charles win. Fucking legend. And then, yeah. Only thing left to say, who should they fight next? For Charles, he probably fights the winner of Arman Islam, which is fine. It's the last title chance. Why not? Why the fuck not? And then for Chandler, I'm still down to see him fight Fiziev. Please. I doubt it, but we can dream. Or we don't see him for another 8 years waiting for Conor for no fucking reason. So, yeah. Not really much else to say. Maybe Charles fights Conor. Conor fighting. Fucking Chandler, please don't sit on your ass for another 2 years waiting for Conor. It ain't happening, buddy. Come on. But, yeah, not really much else to say. Great win for Charles. Great fight. And, let's see if he can get his belt back. Him versus the winner of Arman Islam. Sounds good to me. Chandler versus Fiziev would be a fucking dream, but I doubt that happens. Either way, great fight. Great co-main. Let's see what happens in the crazy lightweight division next. Charles, Chandler, thank you for saving this main card as much as you could. Now for the lame event of the evening. Not gonna waste your time. Jones, Stipe, pathetic. This was Jake Paul, Mike Tyson level pathetic. Stipe can barely move. John Jones did not even look that impressive. It was just Jones' domination from the minute it started to the minute he knocked him out. Jones did not have the balls to call out Tom Aspinall, but he did not retire. Stipe did. I'll talk about that in a second. But for Jones, stop ducking. Fight Tom Aspinall, you bitch. Duck Bones Jones. Fight Tom Aspinall. That's the only fight I'm happy Dana said. I'm happy he said he'll do. The only way he does Jones and Piera is if he beats Aspinall. Thank you, Dana. Piera has to beat Ankalaev. Jones has to beat Aspinall. If they can both do that, which one of them won't, then we can get that fight. But they need to actually get to that fight first. So I'm happy Dana's laying down the law. You have to fight Tom Aspinall, bitch. And for Stipe, yeah, he's already been retired, if we're being honest, so. But this is his official retirement, so thank you, Stipe, for everything. Greatest heavyweight of all time. One of the greatest of all time. Sucks he went out on this garbage fight, but whatever. 42 years old. At least he made a fat payday. Enjoy retirement, Stipe. Thank you for everything. OHIO, baby. And the only championship Cleveland can actually fucking win at this point. So, thank you. OHIO. Enjoy retirement. Not very much else to say. Stop ducking Aspinall. Enjoy retirement. Shit main event. Boom. That was the card. To go over how I did on picks. I went 8 of 12, 1 perfect, 425. The 4 I got wrong. Stipe was biased. Silva's a fraud. Diniz is a fraud. And Tybura was a bitch. And Hardy just really was not her night. The bonuses were Fight of the Night to Charles and Chandler. Performance bonuses to Jones, Ramiz, and Oban. I would have gave 5 of the Night to probably Onama, but yeah, Charles was fun as well. And I would have definitely gave Jim Miller a bonus over fucking John Jones, but whatever. So I would have had it Miller, Oban, Ramiz, and then 5 of the Night to either Charles or Onama. But we already knew they were gonna fucking give Jones a bonus and Charles the 5 of the Night, so yeah. And then last and never least, if you missed the card, what should you go back and rewatch? I would say the entire prelims and Charles Oliveira. And you could skip Tybura if you watch it. Fucking rewatch the prelims and Charles. Outside of that, garbage. And this was more pathetic than Jake Paul and Mike Tyson. Stipe made Mike Tyson look like fucking Michael Venom Page. So, take that for what you will. So, yeah. Still rewatching a lot, but at least you're rewatching the good parts, like Charles and the prelims. Everything else fucking sucked. But, yeah, I think that's finally it for UFC 309. I can't really think of anything else to say. Was the card good? In ways. Was the card bad? In ways. Was it still a disappointment and a disgrace to MSG? Yes. But, that's gonna happen, I guess. That's gonna happen. UFC booked a garbage card, and they got bailed out by Charles in a good prelims. Kinda get what you fucking deserve for putting Bo Nickal and Paul Craig on a fucking pay-per-view. So, yeah. Terrible card, as expected, but also it was not terrible. It was weird. The prelims heavily carried. So, now we look forward to the backlash from this card. This coward trying to duck Aspinall even more. And, I really don't know what else to say. 309 in the books. Some good, some bad, and some ugly. Now we look forward to UFC Macau, I think that's how you say it. Figgy and Jan. That's gonna be interesting, because it's at 3 in the goddamn morning. So, you'll hear me break down that card on Friday, 1 p.m. EST, like always. And you'll hear me recap that. Fuck, I could recap it on Saturday if I really wanted to. But you'll definitely hear me recap that on Sunday. So, I almost didn't get this recap out on Sunday. I almost lazied it and just said, fuck it, I'll do it tomorrow. But I do this shit for you guys. I'm telling Sean Strickland now. I do this for you. I wanted to get this out on Sunday, and I did. I hope you like it. I hope if you made it this deep into the video, why? But, nah, jokes aside, thank you. I love every single one of you who watched this garbage. If you liked the video, disliked the video, whatever, thank you for watching. And, I hope you enjoyed it. Either way, unless I'm going to say something, that's 309 in the books. Only 3 cards left this year. Let's go out on some high notes. There's not many to go out on with what the next pay-per-view is, but, you know, that's for a few weeks from now for me to rant about. Because outside of that, UFC 309, done and dusted. Some good, some bad, some ugly in the garden. Like, kind of like the Knicks. I wouldn't know, because my team's 14-0, bitch. Okay, now stop rambling. Hope you enjoyed the video. As always, please like, comment, subscribe. 100 subs goal by the end of the year. I don't think we're gonna get 30 subs in a month and a half, but, you know, wishful thinking. Either way, I'm happy, and I hope you enjoyed this. And as always, RX out. Good vibes only, and always OHIO.